Hi, YouTube. I hope you're doing good. I'm doing pretty good. I was outside cleaning up the yard from winter. Oh, we had some storms with heavy snow and ice that took out a lot of our trees, and there's branches all over and a lot of destruction from it. So, yeah, picking, and I don't know, other stuff just accumulates in the yard like bits of plastic or a bag from the road or, different things. So, and then I got to start raking, but I can't right away. I have to wait. Like I have some flower beds that are established. I have to get in there, but you can't rake until the moisture is gone and it's been raining. So I got to wait till it's not a mud hole or I'll destroy everything. So, yeah, a little at a time. So yeah, it was pretty good. I've been listening to It's Almost Over, Breaking Montana House Bans Trans Lawmaker from Floor. Moments ago, Montana voted to ban lawmaker Zoe Zephyr from the floor in a landslide vote. Um, well, that's because she incited violence uh, on the floor with the people that she's representing, and it was chaotic. That's why. So um, she can still vote from, or I mean, in Congress and do her job for her people that she represents in District 100, but she's just not allowed on the floor because she abused that privilege. So there you go. That's that, and violence isn't okay in any mode of um, communicating with other people. You just don't incite violence and you don't go there. That's why there's prisons for criminals that get like that. So if she's going to represent a people that are trying to use the person that they are inside to bully other people to expect us to um, bow to their whims, basically, because they're a certain demographic in the United States of America. Um, if it was me, if I was representing grandmothers and I bullied people and started yelling and inciting grandmas all over the world go flipping crazy, if that was what I was doing on the floor and getting radical, well, then I should be banned too. So that's the way that is. And I'm glad it went down the way it went down. Not just because of who she represents, but the liars that she does represent. The devil's the devil, and the devil is in the details. So, and I'm not going to debate whether or not these people are evil. If it goes against what God wants for his human beings, and you know that in your heart, well, then you're in camp A, and A okay with me, whatever. I don't care who believes what. It's just, what are you teaching kids and why? You know, there's just some things that have no room for little ears to hear. Certain things in this world that little people shouldn't even know. And if adults can't see that and admit that, and they don't have enough respect for a little person's independence from an adult ideal, well, then that's where I'm going to start standing up for the little people more than I do any adult and their stupid um, off kilter behavior that does not constitute family. And if they want to fake families and do their shit, what they want to do, Just like the people that adopted me, well, we're just going to fake being parents. That's not really why they did that with me, but because they're a dark cabal and they want to continue doing these types of things to ruin people's lives. And I'm not going to fucking let it happen. So, you love and cherish who you want to love and cherish, but I'm loving and cherish what a family is, period. And that's not only my right, but my God given right. And that's where I'm going to stand stronger than just about anybody I know. There's people that'll say the same thing, but not like I'm going to say it. So people think, oh, what? Like, your life's in jeopardy if you speak up? Shit, there's people, they think they're getting stalked. They're not getting stalked. You don't know what getting stalked means, you know? Try being a woman doing it all by yourself. I'll tell you about that, you know? And not using my almost perfect femininity to do that, but like a warrior. Yeah, try that on for size one time. Yeah, because you can't. Because why? Because you're not a woman and you're not me. And if you are a woman, you still aren't me. That's the way I feel about myself. It's hard to be humble, isn't it? Yeah. Especially if you don't have to humble yourself to others. You know, that's perfection. That coffee there. So, yeah. If you listen to the song that I shared yesterday. And here's, I was singing it in my head, oh Lord, it's hard to be humble, yesterday, all day until I shared it and I played it. Doug came home and said he had heard that the day before, and we haven't heard it for years, go figure, you know. So he heard it, I'm thinking it, and I share it. And then he tells me he had just heard it the day before. So, you know, no, there really aren't coincidences. God orchestrated everything, you know? So, yeah. I seen Marjorie Taylor Greene in Congress too, ripping it up like usual. I can't really remember right now. I just heard a vehicle. I might get interrupted. I don't think so, but yeah. Thought I heard something, so if I have to get up a second, I just will. So, but yeah, if people are going to incite violence, it's just like Antifa or BLM or I don't care who they are. Don't care. I picketed against the war, and we were singing "Give Peace a Chance" and about the war. Hell no, we won't go. Those things back in the '60s. I'll never change my mind on that, being anti-war and anti-war machine establishment corporation type of military. You know, I'll never go along with it. So I don't care. Nobody's gonna reason killing. Never. If you can reason violence and killing in any way, you're warped. End of story. So self defense is different. It is. Yeah. So anyway, I was telling you I can't rake until the water goes away a little bit. So I did some picking up of stuff, and quite a bit actually. And we had stuff that we had kicked out of the house because We're in a remodeling project and different things going on. My dishwasher broke down. We got a new one to bring in, but it's so muddy. So I'm thinking about doing a pile of dishes I have later. I'm just thinking about it. Doesn't mean I'm going to, but I might, you know. But yeah, I'm probably gonna do that. But it's more difficult than what you would think because our kitchen needs to be remodeled too. So lots of work to do if we ever get done. Oh well, and if we don't, oh well. Anyway, I'm still having a good day. I don't care, you know. Oh, aside from fasting every day, all day long, um, and eating once a day, I been without meat and sugar for this will be my fourth day. Well, it is my fourth day, but I don't always eat meat anyway. It's just, I probably weighed less than a lot of people I know, you know, once in a while, but I'm going to tonight. But it's cutting out the sugar has a lot to do with a lot of people's health, to tell you the truth, you know, and carbs. I don't know if you're familiar with a Swedish flatbread called gnocchi. I ordered some. I'm allergic to rye. That's what it is. So I found out if the rye is mixed with the yeast in a regular rye bread or like a pumpernickel or a Swedish rye, it's hard on my system. If I don't have too much and I have the Swedish flatbread or Danish or it's like German too, we'll make them, but they're called different things, but they come usually in a circle and then it's got like a circle in the middle and it's a big flatbread and you can break it and eat it with butter or cheese or plain. It's really good. But for 3 nights I had that. But then the third night it did bother me. So I noticed, okay, I can eat this, but I have to be careful. So yeah, that is good stuff. Or rye crisp, if you're familiar with that, is a type of the Swedish flatbread rye bread that they make. So I have rye that I planted, and it's really high in protein and iron, and thiamine and folic acid and A and B. But there's something else. Well, higher in protein too. That's what I was thinking. Than a lot of other grains, like a compact thing, you know. So yeah, I planted a patch mostly for when I had my horse, so I could let her where that was to have a treat. Like I say, it's very high in protein. So, and two, if I had to put her in her pasture away from the rest of the property, she always had that thickness. And then I had Kentucky bluegrass, well, do have, and Kansas red and alfalfa clover and like a wild timothy or plains grass, like so, and a couple other plus that patch of rye I am pretty proud of. But yeah, like a specialty grassland yard that I planted specifically for a horse. you know. Oh, it's not just a yard, it's acreage. But yeah. So, yeah, so we got that in hard times if I ever had to harvest rye and I'd have rye flour when other people might not have any kind of flour, you know. And I have a sickle, a hand scythe, and a sickle, two hand scythes and a sickle, and machete, and other things to cut that if I had to or wanted to. And right across the road from us up a waterway is a very large area of wild rice. And I do have a canoe. So, I mean, in hard times, you know, I could even teach other people how to survive right where I live with my knowledge of what is here, you know. Like dandelion root, if you dry it out, you can make a coffee substitute. The whole dandelion plant is edible in any stage. Um, Acorns, like I got quite a few oak trees around me. Um, you can make into like a coffee or a flour. We have cattails that are flour, and the tubers are like a potato type of thing. Jerusalem artichokes are edible. There's so many things around me that you can even put in store for winter time and survive if you had to, you know. Plus, and people might joke, well, teach a man to fish or give a man a fish, he eats for a day. Teach a man to fish, they eat for the rest of their lives. And you can ask my sons if I hadn't taught them to fish, or actually, if their mother didn't know how, they wouldn't have had the good protein that they needed in their lives many times. So that's very true. It's a true thing. Plus, fishing for a living and selling fillets to people and establishments. So, yeah, I've done stuff like that. And yeah, you can if you're resourceful, if you know what you're doing and, you know, where to go, what to do, and if you had to sell it or trade it or smoke it or pickle it or whatever, salt it. I'm prepared. When people say they're prepared, I don't think so. Yeah, I got rice and beans and all the provisions, It's like, no, no. And beyond that, super way unbelievably so beyond that. So, like Rex Barron Leak Project. Don't be scared, be prepared. Or why be scared when you can be prepared? That's true too. Like getting those kits that last for 25 years and that type of thing. I do have things that have and will last over a decade, maybe two or whatever, that type of. It is smart to have that. You never know too in snow emergencies or anything. Especially living out in the country, we have that type of thing happen all the time. You know, if your car gets stuck or truck, you get the tractor out. If your tractor breaks down, you use the car or the truck to go get parts or whatever. It's just that's the way our life's always been. You know, well, I'm not complaining. It's been a good life like that. I never have worried about work or what I do every day. I always figured whatever happens in a day is what happens, and either my body can do it or it can't. And right now, I do whatever I can, always. But for me to actually sit down, it's difficult, even though I have to because, to pace myself because I'm just not young, you know. And when we do get older, it gets a little harder. But it's good not to sit still ever and to keep busy because these people that just sit there, wow. I mean, it'd be like being some old sock in a dresser drawer. It has a hole in it and you're going to wear it anyway, but you're still just keep it, or you're not going to wear it and you just keep it in your dresser drawer. That's crazy. You know what I mean? So don't be an old sock. Yeah, for real. The thing that gets me in life that I really guard myself from, and this goes with my kids in my life too, my ambition is more than anybody I've ever been around. So when I have other people around me, if they're sitting, and you've heard me say this with Doug too, like, and it hasn't been as bad because he's been really busy or resting from being busy. But you've heard me say it if you've been here a while that it drives me nuts. How can a person think they work so hard in one day when they see me work every single day, and then like 3 days, or they work a few hours in one day for a couple days or something, and they don't see the amount of work it took to make our lives go around. And that's what my kids don't recognize in my life. So I can't even do my household chores or ask somebody else to do them, or even clean up after themselves, because they don't have the compassion to recognize what my life is and what it entails to make my life and this place go around. So it's like, no, this is my place, and I control it. And that's a fact, an absolute fact. If things don't go my way around here, I could say there'll be hell to pay. No, there'll be heaven to pay. Either do things right around me, or you won't be around me, you know? So, yeah, I don't take it wasn't just me my son talked down to. He said the same thing about his dad too, and both my sons love their daddy, and they should, but they should also pray for him and not slide into his shoes. Come on now. You know the difference between a kind heart and a wicked soul, don't we? You know? Yeah, we sure as hell do. I'm not going to pacify the devil. I don't have symphony, yeah, sympathy for the devil at all. And that's what these people in this world are doing, having sympathy for the devil. Then with that ban in Montana, um, with that man in Montana that got banned, um, or whatever it is, it is whatever. Um, oh, I don't know what I was gonna say. If I do get cut off, I love y'all, but I did have a point to make. I hope I gather that back. Excuse me. Jeez. Now I don't know. Sympathy for the devil. That's where I was going with that. Where most people are failing the little people out on this planet with their openness of deviantness, you know. Um, and think what you will. Real's real and fake's fake. End of story, you know. And if you don't think, I mean, if you're all into going along with other people's fairy tales, or what is the destruction of what makes a society, you know, so be it. There was like, okay, I shared an Elder Lakota um, speaking medicine man, and shared a video about him. And yeah, that's my bloodline, and I'm proud to say that's a lot of what my spirit comes from that type of attitude. But yet, even on the House floor in the Senate of Montana is a Blackfoot nation that is not the original peoples of the Americas. And they know it too. And I know it is also standing up for the Antichrist activism, the agenda that's going on to destroy the children. It's not about the adults, it's not about what you do in private, it's about destroying the children and what constitutes a family. This is not about anything else. This is the evils of what's going on and what's accepted in society by some people and what isn't. And what's accepted in society, and whether if somebody takes their life because they're mentally unstable, like if I had flipped out when my kids were gone, that would be on me, right or wrong. You know, do you think that there's any activists out there that gave a shit what I went through, how I was unjustly treated in the system? No. And that was based on lies told about me, you know. So people that lie and play pretend are going to try and constitute and try and justify what makes a society and a family go around, respecting everybody, including the little people, mostly respecting the little people in their privacy and their innocence that is being trashed all over the place. And there I see adult men that I even respect you, but I disrespect that part in you for your passiveness and your sympathy for the devil. That's empathic, yes, on their same wavelength. And I ask you, what invaded your personal DNA with those thoughts? I won't name any names, but I know it's true. So I'm still standing my ground on what I know biologically is sound on a microbial scale, and how we can be contaminated like that and what's going on in this world. And I'm not blaming anybody for anything, but I won't hold sympathy for what is going to destroy what's natural. That's not even going to happen. I'll have love and compassion, but not sympathy for the cause, if you get my drift. I hope you do. I hope something I'm saying logically um, um, common could be common. Yeah, could it be? What do most people hold in common on this planet right now that some of us don't? All in all, rainy day and all, still a pretty good day in the neighborhood. I shared some pretty nice songs today, I thought. So, in my community, if you'd like to go and look what I shared with the Senate floor in Montana or the Lakota Elder Medicine Man, um, those are over there with the songs. So, yeah. Well, I think that's probably about it for today. Um, I know it might be like beating a dead horse. You might have reasons why you think I could be easier and just let things go and think like everybody else, but I don't. Maybe it's my dyslexia, I don't know, but I don't think like other people. I never have. I can't. I'm me. So I have my rights too, and this is one of my rights. So, and you know what? My heart's always in the right place. I would not ever want anybody to take their lives. They couldn't come to Christ if they did.